Hello, my name is Lane Strands, and today we are talking about the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. So, I'm going to go over a brief history, and I'm going to go over four locomotives that I feel like are the most well known out of all of the fleet of locomotives that the TVRM has. The Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum was founded as a chapter of the NRHS, National Railroad Historical Society, in 1960 by Paul H. Merriman and Robert M. Sewell Jr., along with a group of railroad preservationists who wanted to conserve steam. So, the railroad, founded in 1960 and incorporated in 1961, the TVRM originally stored equipment at the Western Union Pole Yard, which was located adjacent to the Southern Railway Classification Yard on Holtzclaw Avenue. I probably just really messed that name up, so if you guys want to send me your voice saying that name, please do. In East Chattanooga, after the termination of passenger service to the Southern Railway's terminal station in 1971, additional cars and locomotives were stored at this facility in downtown Chattanooga. In 1969, the TVRM received a land donation from the Southern Railway consisting of a property located in East Chattanooga on North Chamberlain Avenue. The donation also included 986-foot long Missionary Ridge Tunnel and 1.5 miles of abandoned right-of-way. So that's just in the 60s. So now in 1970, the railroad opened a new permanent facility in East Chattanooga to the public. At the time of its opening, there was no structures on the site, although volunteers had constructed a rail yard for the storage and repair of equipment and had rebuilt the abandoned rail line through the Missionary Ridge Tunnel. So, if you go to TVRM and you take the Missionary Ridge Local and then you go to where the turntable is and all the facilities, that wasn't there until let me see. It doesn't tell me. But it wasn't there until maybe till the 80s. And so was the bridge that goes over Tunnel Avenue. So you gotta think that TVRM actually started out really small, and now it's one of the most well-known railroad museums in the entire U.S., maybe not if the world. Well, let me take that back. If I went up to a Chinese person and said, do you know what the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum is? They'd probably say no, but then if I said, do you know the Southern 4501, they might know, because I've talked to some people who don't live in the U.S. that know who the Southern 4501 is. So TVRM basically started with so in 1964, Merriman purchased the former Southern Railway 4501 from the Kentucky and Tennessee Railway in Stearns, Kentucky for $5,000. You know, I'm going to save up money now to buy a steam locomotive for $5,000. And this started the Southern Steam Program. The program began in 1966 when the freshly restored 4501 emerged from a 2-year-long restoration which had been done at Lucy Boiler Company in Chattanooga. So this is what 4501 looked like after coming out of restoration in 1966. So then, after years of hard work and much financial discipline in 1977, TVRM finally built the long-needed bridge over Tunnel Boulevard. I said Avenue earlier, so please guys forgive me. The Southern Railway then donated an additional 1.5 miles of abandoned rail line. The next major task undertaken was to build the East Chattanooga Depot. This depot is reconstruction of a typical small town depot of the 1920s. The 1980s saw TVRM named to National Registration of Historical Places on August 6, 1980, expansion of the organization, and more land donated by the Southern Railway. During the 1980s, more track and buildings were gradually added. The Grand Junction Depot, again, guys, go to TVRM whenever you can and look at all the buildings. Those weren't there when they bought the route. Well, not the way they buy it, but they got when the Southern donated to them. Most of that stuff wasn't there until like the 80s actually. So they got it in 69, and it took them till the 80s to get it fixed, to get all that stuff done. So, I mean, guys, think about that. That's actually a lot of work. That's pretty good. A repair shop and a turntable were added to provide facilities for locomotives repair and maintenance. Beginning in the 1990s, TVRM started running trains to the Chattanooga Choo Choo, called the Downtown Era, now discontinued. I actually want that to come back because I think that'd be fun, but I think Norfolk Southern probably won't let them because Norfolk Southern, I don't know what Norfolk Southern would think. And excursions down to Somerville, Georgia on the Chattanooga and Chickamauga Railway, which I will be doing March 3rd, 2018. In 2004, TVRM and the Tennessee Overhill Heritage Association partnered up to acquire the former L&N Hook and I line between Etowah, Tennessee and Copperhill, Tennessee. Since then, despite skipping the 2005 season, so 2004, they bought the Etowah turn. No, that's the Chickamauga turn. They bought the Etowah train. I have to check what that's called, guys. Sorry. But they bought the Etowah route. I want to ride that. Skipping the 2005 season, the new Hiwassee. Guys, I probably botched that so bad. But someone in the comments, please let me know how to say that properly. I'm very sorry. River Rail Adventure had been a popular addition to the railroad. Well, I just found out what the route was called. With the success of the river trips, TVRM split into two districts operating the Chattanooga and Hiawassee divisions. Though crews and sometimes equipment often switch between two. So, I mean, if you wanted to ride 4501 or 630 today, you would have to figure out which division they're on. Because I don't know. I don't think 4501 or 630 goes to the Hiawassee division, but I'm not 100%. So, guys, don't let me say, hey, they don't go there, and then you go to the Hiawassee train, and they'd be like, 4501, 630 is there. So just don't listen to me half the time. The museum celebrated 50 years during the Labor Day weekend of 2011. Norfolk Southern Railway also debuted their new steam train program. So let me go into the locomotives. So current steam locomotives include Southern MS Class 282 Mikado, which I'm already on that. It was built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in October 1911, sold to the K&T, Kentucky and Tennessee Railway in 1948, and renumbered to 12. Retired February 1964, sold to Paul Merriman for $5,000, restored in 1960, and started in the steam program by Southern from 1966 to 1994, in the Southern's green and gold paint scheme, back to black in October 1996, taken out of excursion service and regular service in September 1998, restored to operation on September 5th, 2014. So the next locomotive is Southern KS1 280 number 630. As you can see here, I have 630 back in the 1970s, because I don't think a lot of people knew what 630 looked like back then. Built by the American Locomotive Company in February 1904. Hey, I was born in February. So happy birthday 630. I need to know the exact date. Sold to the East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad, now known as the Tweetsie Scenic Railroad. I bet you didn't know that. In 1952 as their 207, retired December 1967 and sold to the Southern Railway to take part in the Southern Steam Program. Arrived at TVRM in 1978, taken out of service in 1989, officially donated to TVRM by Norfolk Southern in 1999, restored to operation in 2011. So, yeah. Now let's go into one locomotive they no longer have. Which is Southern 722. So Southern 722 was built by the... where is it? Oh, here it is. It's a KS1 consolidation built by Baldwin Locomotive Works in September of 1904. Sold to the East Tennessee ET and WNFNC in 1952 and renumbered to 208. Retired in 67 and sold to the Southern to participate in the steam program. Leased and operated at TVRM from 1980, excuse me, I messed up so badly, to 1985, put on static display due to a cracked firebox. Transferred to the Asheville chapter of the NRHS in 1992, sold to the Great Smoky Mountain Railroad in Bryson City, North Carolina in December 2000, currently awaiting a restoration. I saw this locomotive, not, well, the locomotive in general, but I saw its tender a few years back, and it is a nice, I didn't know at the time. So next we're going to talk about U.S. Army number 610, built by Baldwin Lima Hamilton Corporation in 1952, and based at the Fort Eustis. I botched that. Military Railroad, retired in 1972 and sold to Wiregrass Heritage Chapter of the NRHS in Dothan, Alabama. Arrived at TVRM in 1978, restored in 1991, taken out for 1,472 day inspection in 2011, currently awaiting an overhaul. What I've heard is that they're not planning to overhaul or restore her, and not in the near future, because they have to. Right now, they don't have the money to. They have to gain the money. They're currently restoring an E8, I believe. Let me check the diesel locomotives list. It should tell me. They are currently restoring. They have a Milwaukee Road SW1200. I'm sorry, I did not know that. They are currently restoring a Southern EMD E8. So they're having to get the money for that, and then Southern 630's 10-year. I mean, not 10-year, but inspections coming up, because then they're gonna have an inspection for 630 soon. So they're probably gonna want her to run again. So most likely, I mean, the 630's inspection is not gonna be here like tomorrow. It's just coming up. So most likely the 610 will not be running in the near foreseeable future, but it would be really cool to see her running again, because she was one of the first steam locomotives I ever rode behind. So I guess that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I want you guys to go donate money to the TVRM so they can get 630 back running when she needs to get her inspection done, and try possibly to get the 610 running, and also to help them restore the Southern EMD E8. So without further ado, guys, I'll let you have a peaceful night, and I'll talk to you maybe in the near future.